Cinema Recall is available everywhere you find great podcasts.
The hell was that?
It's our voice promo guy.
Follow them on Facebook and Instagram under Cinema Recall Podcast and on Twitter at Cinema_Recall.
Vern, can we afford to have a voiceover guy?
We can't afford not to. He used to be a voice guy for movie trailers, but now he just follows me around and gives me movie trailer narration.
That's really sad.
What? Now we're giving him purpose in life. He now has a reason to go on.
Check out past episodes at cinemarecall.net. Promise it's fun!
I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Kevin. And I'm Aaron.
And this is Collateral Cinema and...
the podcast that wouldn't die.
Welcome to a special 420 edition of Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We're podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas, and especially at this time, my friends, you're definitely going to want to smoke it if you've got it, be it dabs, blunts, bongs, or joints. Smoke that shit if you've got it, my friends. Hell yes. And this is one of our annual episodes that we do every year. We treat 420 as a holiday. It's Stoner Christmas around here in these brother. Parts. Right, Ash? Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we have once again, some guests with us on this particular episode to partake in the 420 festivities, and that is Aaron and Kevin from the podcast that wouldn't die. How are you guys doing?
Woo! Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what's been going on with your podcast lately?
Well, we're rocking and rolling. We are just releasing our Nosferatu episode, which is good stuff. Last week we did Psycho, the original 1960 classic. Good times had by all.
Excellent.
Yeah, we just recorded Godzilla -1, which is much better than I thought it would be.
Word. I heard good things about that one.
I've heard a lot of great things about Godzilla -1. And I got to ask y'all, have y'all checked out the other Psycho sequels that had Anthony Perkins from back in like the 80s?
We watched Psycho 2.
Nice. Yeah, with Meg Tilly.
Oh, yeah, with the Tilly. Yeah.
Meg Tilly, Robert Loggia, absolutely. People love that sequel, too.
That is a fantastic movie. It really is. Hell yeah.
Psycho 3, not so much.
Our buddy and co-host Robert, who couldn't be with us this time, he has the box set with all the Psycho sequels and the Bates Motel special and everything. So
Motel is one of the best series ever.
It really is. Yeah. And honestly, I think it's a Psycho 4 that I'll go to bat for that. It has the whole radio station that he's calling in and everything. Yeah, I will go to bat for that one. I think that is also a really good sequel.
That's the
you should check it out.
One that it's Psycho 4, but it was released only in cable, if I'm remembering.
Yeah, and
put it on the list.
I think it was also a direct to video, if I recall as well.
Always a mark of quality.
Yeah, just about.
Now, what do you think of the Vince Vaughn scene by scene remake? That's the real question.
I think it's fine for what it is. You know.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
But I mean, here we are. We're already getting off track. It's a total stoner thing to do on 420.
100%.
On this episode, we are talking about the granddaddy of stoner movies to be, if you want to call it a stoner movie, because I mean, to be honest, it's a propaganda film that's completely anti-marijuana or marijuana, as it's called here. And of course, we are talking about the legendary, I believe it was 1936 movie Reefer Madness. This is a hysterical fucking movie, man. and it has an interesting history behind it that, may even have a little bit of relevance to things that are going on in the world today, especially.
Mayhaps.
Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and get into our initial statements on this movie. We'll go ahead and start with our guests. Aaron, how about you get started with?
Oh my God. Let me just say, I saw Reefer Madness, I think, when I was in high school or college. Back in the old days, kids, they had this thing called a midnight movie, where you would just stay up all night and watch Eraserhead, followed by, Reefer Madness. And it was hysterical. I remember watching Reefer Madness before I even smoked weed. And it was just so bizarre that you had to laugh. Even though I knew nothing of drugs, I was like, this can't be real.
Right.
Seriously.
It is beyond ridiculous. I'm like, it doesn't seem like it could be worse than opium. It can't be real.
Yeah, I mean, if you use just a tiny little sliver of critical thinking, I mean, you can kind of figure out where this movie is coming from as far as its actual propaganda against cannabis and whatnot. All right, Kevin, what are your first thoughts on Reefer Madness?
This is the first time I actually watched this, and it's true, and it's the colorized edition. So when the
colorized was so terrible.
Oh, it's dynamite. They were smoking, and it was like mustard gas or chlorine gas. I mean, it was like, what the? Yes, it was like that.
The exhaust, yeah.
Apparently, that was an artistic decision to kind of show the levels of addiction or the moods of the different characters in the movie. Apparently, that's what I read initially.
Well, you knew it was bad.
Choice. I like that.
You knew it was bad when you saw the piano player. He was like looking all skeevy, So you knew when he left.
Ralph.
I'm taking 5 minutes. Absolutely. He knew he was going to be in trouble hitting that. It was hilarious. I stood up and applauded at that moment.
That's right. I'm like,
absolutely.
This is like the Peach Pit after dark. Yeah. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, right on.
This is like literally a soda fountain where everyone's going to score their drugs. And the other thing is, how much are they selling this old stank weed for that they got a whole apartment down the street to lure high school kids? How much is this pot cost?
Oh man, there's so much that's inexplicable about this movie, especially in hindsight. Ash, what's your first statement on this movie?
Oh man, so I too watched the colorized edition most recently, but I think I watched it before with you and Bo, maybe a few months ago or so. And yeah, I mean, I think what's so hilarious about this movie is how factually it presents its information, despite it being batshit insane and just not making sense from any perspective, like regardless of how much you know about marijuana.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's kind of a feature of most exploitation movies from that era. Like, I happen to have a box set of these particular types of movies. It's called Taboo Tales, and this has let me grab it real quick. A little bit of everything on this. It has test tube babies. It has the marijuana menace. She should have said no. Terror of Tiny Town. All little people in a Western. Very, yeah. And this has Reefer Madness on it, of course. So, I mean, if you watch these particular types of movies, I mean, you kind of see a through line, I mean, mainly because it was made by a lot of it was made by the same set of producers and everything. This one was made by Dwayne Esper, at least for the re-release and everything. So, yeah, that type of editorializing that they would do to kind of exaggerate the propaganda a little bit. I mean, yeah, that was very, very common. And Reefer Madness is like kind of the example of that at least when it comes to, the collective cultural consciousness when it comes to these types of movies.
I'm going to tell you, on YouTube, there is a series called The Educational Archives that I used to teach health, and occasionally on a Friday, I'd pull one of these whammies out. But you had to preview one because I watched one on LSD made in the 60s where a little hippie chick starts talking to her hot dog. And I'm like, how is this supposed to scare the kids away? They're going to be like, where can I get some of this LSD? But it covers your neighbor's a communist. It's just thousands of these. They are so incredible. You could spend hours just watching one after the other.
So basically the kind of thing that you would have seen on Mystery Science Theater 3000 before the movie, the shorts that they used to do. I mean, they did quite a few of those types of
except it's you shouting it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I just love how you can just switch out just a regular cigarette with a jazz cigarette. Hey, we substituted your regular
jazz cigarettes from now on.
No question.
Hey, bro, you got one of them jazz cigarettes?
We substitute your regular nicotine with freeze-dried Taster's Choice or some shit, like the Pepsi Challenge. Oh shit! I didn't realize I'm now a pot addict. How'd this happen?
That's right. I thought that was a lucky strike.
And okay, picture this: all of the weed that they smoke in this film is all just swag, just low quality weed.
It's making them do all this shit. It's sticks, it's seeds, and they've lost their freaking minds.
Yeah, no, it's just straight up Bammer dirt weed. That's all that it was. We used to call it Mexican dirt weed back when I was younger.
There you go.
And of course there is that unfortunate racial connotation to it, because that goes all the way back to when, Henry Anslinger was actually trying to initially ban marijuana after Prohibition because, he was like, well, alcohol is legal, so now what? So they turned their attention to marijuana, which was not only pretty well available throughout the nation, pretty much in the wild, but a lot of Mexican.
I googled that. I've never been down a country fucking road, and I'm like, oh my, what's that growing in the ditch? Nah, that has never happened in my life. And I went to college at Humboldt, where they're cultivating it, and there was never any accidental wild marijuana growing everywhere.
Just wild marijuana.
It was next to the wild Dorito plant and the frosty cold Coca-Cola that paired so well with marijuana back in the day.
Yeah, the Coca-Cola that had the cocaine in it at the time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You used to be able to, all the cough syrups had morphine and cocaine was in Coca-Cola. So which came first, the war on the weed or... That would be interesting. I should have Googled that beforehand.
It's difficult to tell. During Prohibition, pharmacists were straight up selling alcohol for medicinal purposes, and that was kind of one of the workarounds that people would use back in those days. So
when our grandfather passed away, I found a bottle that still had the wrapping, but it literally said for medicinal purposes.
Wow!
I found an old bottle.
It's just for medicinal purposes.
That's amazing. That's a real Prohibition relic, man. Jeez.
Then you can get a script from your doctor. My cough needs bourbon, though.
You get like laudanum and shit at the fucking pharmacist.
Right?
Remember on Deadwood? She was getting her laudanum to help her make it through the day.
Oh yeah, if you go through history, you can kind of see where drug use was kind of tacitly encouraged, in certain ways before the war on drugs really kind of went into full swing. And, Henry Anslinger, he was the Secretary of the Treasury at the time. Like, he was the one that really started the war on marijuana. And if you look up some of the things he was saying about this, it's like, oh, Lord, very, very, very racist. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking like using the epithet darkies unironically. That type of racism.
You know what? Now that I think about it, is there a single person of color in this entire movie?
I don't think so, and that's what's weird about it, because Anslinger he specifically attributed it to jazz and to jazz entertainers, and mainly as a dog whistle for black people. So and I mean that. And marijuana culture does have its origins in black in black entertainment, and in the Mexican culture, and everything, So I mean,
this is a total whiteout.
Yeah, it's a total whiteout.
This movie was ridiculously white.
This is a very, very white bread take on marijuana when you really boil it down.
It really is.
Honestly, it would have been even more racist if there was the one black guy in town who was in charge of passing out the weed. That would have been even worse, quite frankly.
I was half expecting that to happen. You know what?
But it's all white people.
They probably wanted to, and then somebody told them, no, you can't do blackface. That's not okay. So they had to just cut it.
Yeah. It's kind of like that one Herschel Gordon Lewis movie, 10,000 Maniacs, where, they have like the southern town that's supposed to be like a sundown town, but instead the car full of city folk are white people. It's like even back then that would have been a little too on the nose for a movie like that. So yeah, but even in 1930s United States, racist as all hell. Like Operation Wetback is literally underway at this point. It's like even that would have been a little too much for the anti-cannabis movie.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the 30s were not woke. I'm pretty sure.
No, they were not. No, they were not. In fact, I mean, Operation Wetback, and yes, that is the real name of the initial deportation operation. It was it was quite rigorous, and it did unfortunately deport American citizens. Hint, hint. Very, 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 relevant to today, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of where, in a way it kind of ties back to, what's going on now versus what was going on then. It's like, history just kind of rhymes like that,
If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Dude,
Americans
it's just not even Americans, human beings have proven over and over again they do not learn from history. Because that never applies to you at the time. And then you look back.
Exactly.
Going, oh.
It's like this time around, I mean, you just take marijuana and just replace it with fentanyl. And I mean, that's pretty much what's going on right now. So,
and quite frankly, fentanyl would probably make more sense in this movie than the weed.
100%. But remember, they literally bring up opium and cocaine in this movie, but they move marijuana to the top of that. They're just like, no, nothing's more dangerous than marijuana.
Lives.
The way they just so factually are like, yeah, marijuana is worse than opium. It's worse than all these other drugs. And I'm like, why? And then they're like, oh, well, it's going to cause you to axe murder your family, or all this bullshit that happens in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like that opening text crawl that we have before the movie actually gets into its initial framing device with the parent-teacher meeting. It's like, I mean, for one, that typeset that they used was quite interesting. The fonts and everything, especially when they had the really flowery font for marijuana. But just the way that it describes weed, it's just like, wow. It's I don't think any drug is really that voracious. Maybe save for fentanyl that. You're going to take one hit of it and go absolutely bonkers. Maybe some psychedelics, but
maybe that Oxy 100 that they were pushing a while back.
Maybe that.
But honestly,
maybe
those
Oxy.
you're just gonna flop over and pass out. None of them are you gonna be dancing around.
It's like, whatever. Rush Limbaugh was popping that shit like candy, so whatever. Yeah, it was Oxy that he was popping.
That's why he went deaf.
Exactly. Well, whatever. He's dead. Who cares?
Man, I want what the fuck everybody else is on when they're not high on marijuana.
I know.
Right?
What the fuck?
It's like everybody else in this movie that I'm like, what the fuck are you?
It's like everybody else is just on some really ramped up speed or something like that. and then then there's the actual effects that marijuana seems to have on all of these characters, you know, whether it be the younger teenagers, I think it's Bill and Mary, I think, how they act versus like even how the veteran weed smokers act. Like for instance, the aforementioned Ralph, you know, how he's just all really skeevy and just treating it like it's this, I don't know how to describe it, treating it like it's nectar of the gods or something like that. And it's just slowly driving him insane. You know, it's like,
fuck Ralph.
Fuck Ralph.
I don't know what kind of weed they're on, because once again, I never had that much energy.
It's kind of weird.
It was
At the end of the
some
movie-
different blend.
At the end of the movie,
Different
they have, to
blend
put
back
him,
in the day.
they have to put him in an insane asylum for the rest of his life because he's a catatonic. He smoked too much weed.
And meanwhile, here I am after like 20 years of smoking, and it's just like, so when's the psychosis going to start, y'all? I mean,
I will say I'm a lightweight. One hit these days, and it does put me into a catatonic stupor.
that's
Weed
one
these
thing,
days is
though.
in a whole different world than back at back in our
that's something.
youth.
That's something I was going to say about the current state of marijuana is that, I mean, you can pretty much find certain strains for that'll give you certain types of highs that can be applied to certain types of activities. Like there's some that are hybrids that can kind of mellow you out. There's some that are like sativas, which will give you more energetic highs, which can kind of give you a little more focus and everything. And then you have the indicas, which is what you can use for like pain relief or for like insomnia or whatnot.
Which are the ones that cause you to do the jitterbug for 12 hours? Because that's the one we're looking for.
I want to know what strain does that. Ash, have you ever found a strain of weed that does that to you?
It may be extinct now.
Seriously.
I'll tell you what, yeah, like you go to like the weed markets now and they have everything labeled. They know the names of the strains, and it's just like you have to go look it up on your phone. Like, okay, is this a sativa or is this a hybrid? Or
I know. It's like what Chappelle said in Half Baked. It's like, what, did you go to weed college, man? Shit.
Man,
it's like, damn.
It's so damn detailed. Like there's entire encyclopedias online that go into like what certain strains, like what sort of moods they give you. And I'm like, man, like just give me some sativa. That's all I need.
You can go to school to become a bud tender now, to actually become
my university offers a degree in that part of their ag program.
Really? Interesting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the cannabis industry now is like a multi-billion-dollar industry, like especially with the advent of Delta 8 after the Farm Bill and whatnot. So, I mean, yeah, it's just crazy how ubiquitous it is now compared to back then. It's like, I mean, they're pretty much saying that just one marijuana cigarette is going to cause you to apparently run over pedestrians and get all hyped up and whatnot.
He gets away scot-free, by the way.
Yeah,
He does.
His sister covers for him. They're like, okay, ma'am, never mind. On to the next house.
Unsolved mystery.
It's never brought up again. Like not even once. At least after Jack takes care of it.
One chick throws herself out the window because she's so guilty. Homie murdered somebody, and he's like, no worries, moving on.
Job well done. Whatevs.
Give me another one of those
It's just part
gas
of the job.
cigarettes.
Well, you knew he was rough when they went to the malt shop, and he's like, I'm having a soda. And even Bill's like, whoa, I never touch that stuff. Root beer only. I can't have any stimulants at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
that's crazy. Well, back then, soda fountains was its soda jerks were pretty much their own types of mixologists back in the day. You know, I mean, they kind of had that was kind of its own little bit of food service. You know, not unlike bartending, sort of. You know, and I mean, usually malts and stuff like that, they were originally seen as kind of like tonics that were for health and whatnot.
It's true.
So. I mean, soda fountains back then, that was just a completely different social thing back then. I mean, and people drank sodas for very...
like pimping for the drug lords. I mean, that's not
He
Baskin
was.
Robbins.
Seriously.
He's like, you seem cool. Here's Mary's address. I'm cool.
Right, you seem cool. It's like, no, that's the guy that's going to get you got, you know, because he's just giving away information all willy-nilly to anybody that comes in. It's like, no, that's how you get got right there.
Fuck that guy.
Straight up.
I mean,
Seriously, what the
the
fuck?
boss rolls in, and now none of the kids are there anymore because they're all over at not Mary's. What the hell was the blonde lady?
Maze or Blanche. Yeah.
Blanche Dubois.
That was great.
I know, right? It's like, Jesus Christ.
Everybody was wearing like a tie and a suit, a lot of sweater vests. There was no tie-dye, right? I mean, what are we doing here?
Nope.
Tie-dye. It's 1936. Everyone looked like they'd just come back from the war, but they're all in high school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Pomade in their hair.
I'm pretty sure at that time the real countercultural fashion would have been zoot suits. So it's like we don't see a single zoot suit whatsoever, you know? So...
They were supposed to be gangsters, right? What's his name?
Have a zoot suit. Wouldn't we
Jack.
also have to have Mexican people somewhere in this town?
Right?
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Zoot
It's
suit
like...
is a Latin thing.
So this is like...
Yeah, it was a Latin thing.
It's like, no, it's only white people for hundreds of miles around.
Right. Exactly.
I don't get it. You know, it's like, how is it going to be that white bread? You know, it's like not a single person with a shade of brown in this movie.
Oh no, these are like albinos. Where is this town? Does it say what town it is or state or anything?
Whiteville, USA.
Whiteville, USA.
Yeah, it's just,
You know what?
it's somewhere USA. Yeah.
I like to think that this exists in the same universe as the Buttercream Gang.
Oh my God. You don't know what the Buttercream Gang is? Oh my God. Yeah, no, we are huge fans of the Buttercream Gang. It is a Christian movie from back in the 90s, and it is hilarious. Cinema Snob did an episode on it. We did an episode.
It's not just about helping people or whatever. It's about having fun.
It's about having fun.
I'm writing that down.
Write it down.
No, you got to check out the Buttercream Gang. You're going to want to do it on your podcast.
Prepare to get
'cause you're just gonna be like,
buttercreamed.
oh my God, what is this?
Beautiful.
I mean, yeah, you want to talk about white bread.
Yeah.
Like with the white bread, that Buttercream Gang is pretty much the Wonder Bread, the Oscar Mayer bologna, and the Miracle Whip. That's what that is.
It
And
is
the mayo.
miracle. It's the miracle.
It is
in
the Miracle
whip.
Whip. Exactly. It is. It's like if you just think of this movie, just think of a jar of Miracle Whip. It's like, there you go.
Oh, beautiful.
I watched Revenge of the Nerds and how the entire football team was white. And I'm like, when does this take place? I mean, is this before segregation? I mean, what are we doing here?
Before segregation.
Oh my God. Oh Lord.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocently they dance. Innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell. In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case.
If you want a good smoke, try one of these.
You will meet Bill, who once took pride in his strong will as he takes the first step toward enslavement.
Of course, if you're afraid.
soul-destroying reefer, they find a moment's pleasure, but at a terrible price. Debauchery, violence, murder, suicide, and the ultimate end of the marijuana addict. Hopeless insanity. See this important film now, before it is too late.
Yeah, anyway. Apparently, this movie has an interesting background because it was originally made by a church group and it was called Tell Your Children.
Tell Your Children.
And the producer, Dwayne Esper, he bought the film back around the mid-30s, and he went ahead and he recut it with more salacious, exploitative cuts and everything, and that's pretty much the cut that we have now. And that was kind of brought out on the roadshow circuit, which was kind of like the precursor to the midnight movie thing, was like roadshows. That's where you would see exploitation movies like this.
So what did they add?
And
just putting on stockings? I mean, was that this salaciousness?
No, they were doing
I would
it.
imagine
Remember? It was sex involved. I saw lingerie.
You did not. You saw like a shoulder, like a bare shoulder.
A shoulder. That implies sex.
That does imply sex.
To
me.
be
They were
fair,
getting busy on the chase.
to be fair, that the rapey scene is probably something that was probably added there. You know, that was very
true.
non-consensual. Yeah, I think that's Jack's sister Mary, and it's Ralph. I think
Ralph had his eye on
that does
her
that
from way back when.
That's why I said fuck Ralph.
Yeah, he did.
He's
No,
that
fuck
dude.
Ralph. Ralph is an asshole.
Ralph is 40
straight up.
years old. Why is he hanging out with the high school kids?
Good question.
Well, these are 30s high school. These are probably 30-year-olds.
Yeah,
to be fair.
it was kind of questionable. They all looked old as shit.
Right.
Honestly,
Right.
they're at least
They
35.
all look the same age. They all literally look the same age in this movie. Even Billy and his girlfriend. They look maybe like a year younger than Ralph. So it's like, I mean, what are we doing here? It's like, I mean, you do have to remember this was also a movie that it came out after the Hays production code started to really come into effect, but it kind of went around that because it was originally an educational movie, you know.
Right.
So
Very
it was.
educational.
Oh yeah, very educational.
Scared straight.
I'm totally scared straight. I don't think I'm going to touch marijuana for a very, very long time.
Never again.
Never again.
Oh,
Nope.
it starts off all fun and games.
But then before you know it, you're running down pedestrians and you're covering up accidental gun deaths. It's like it just
You're raping
it turns into a whole thing.
McRaperson. You're hallucinating. It's a whole
Look,
thing.
it was one attempted rape and one vehicular homicide. Other than that, they're having a good old time. So
Just
I
having
mean,
a good old
It's
time.
a Friday
Seriously.
afternoon. What do you mean?
I'm making
No, then
off
apparently-
a few eggs.
just beating motherfuckers down with a cane, you know, like Ralph did to Jack. So it's
Wait,
like,
was that a cane? I didn't know what the hell that was.
I
That
think
was like a
so.
feather
It
duster.
was.
I didn't know what was going on.
Why does he have a cane?
I don't know.
You
It's
Mr.
like
Peanut?
I want to say that maybe there was a billiards table there. Maybe it was a billiard
apartment?
stick. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember
like
where he would have
Gandalf.
got it. Right.
I always love in these movies, like when they're portraying someone who's lost their mind, they always start screaming, they're upset, and then they get the crazy laugh.
The crazy laugh.
I mean,
and their expressions.
That's that. Before Billy has sex with, I believe it's with Blanche or something like that, he does that really forced laugh, like ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
It's like, my guy, no. It's
You're
like,
not-
come
you're
on,
not
man.
even that fucking high, dude.
Man, that was the aphrodisiac.
Right.
No, they were from the actor's studio. That's for fucking sure.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Oh, the acting in this movie is, for its time, it's kind of mediocre, I guess
For
you
any
could
time,
say.
really.
For
For
any
any
time,
time.
it's very, very mediocre.
They actually made movies in the 30s that were good.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah, plenty of them. Yeah, we that won Academy Awards even and whatnot. So it's
Indeed.
like there's no excuse for this.
No
At
excuse
all.
for this.
No
People
excuses.
were desperate, even in the 30s, to be in Hollywood movies. They could have picked people. This is like an Ed Wood production. I feel like
Practically.
everyone knew each other. That might have spiced it up a little, actually.
Yeah. From what I know,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this was negatively received for the time. I mean, like people were calling bullshit on this, like in the press.
Thank God.
Holding press
seriously.
conferences to denounce
Yeah,
it.
this movie was seen as insanity even back then, but it's really interesting how this movie kind of took the trajectory that it did culturally. At first starting life as just this bullshit propaganda film and then taking on a whole nother new life in the 70s after after weed culture, as we know it, started to really kind of coalesce and everything. I think that it was the dude that actually founded Normal that really, he bought up the film rights for the movie and briefly started showing it, I think, in California and whatnot. He started showing it, and that's where it started to kind of get its midnight movie status.
Right.
It was originally kind of screened as a protest initially against weed because there's like, look at this stupid propaganda film. Look at how they actually used to think marijuana actually was,
Well, just look at all the lies. I mean, it's just so full of lies. You could be against marijuana and try to come up with some science or some facts, but they were just saying bullshit. I mean, I even Googled, I'm like, marijuana grows in all 50 states? I Googled it. First thing, it does not. It's like 2 states, like somewhere in the Midwest, but you got to be near closer to Texas. Actually, Texas, I think, is one of the places that grows wild. Do you see that dirt weed where y'all are from?
Uh-huh. Oh, I remember the dirt weed. Yeah, when I was younger. And this was
just
in
growing in people's front yards and such?
Well, I remember one time one of my friends, I won't name them, they ended up chunking a seed onto their front yard and it actually yielded a pretty large marijuana bush.
Nice.
And they actually got quite a bit of product off of it, actually.
Please do that all the time. They'd just start dumping seeds in the planters over at Humboldt State.
Nice. Hell yeah. Then, or make a seed bomb with just a bunch of different strains and just throw it out.
Sprinkle it. Let nature take its course.
There you go.
Like Johnny Appleseed.
It's like a Johnny Weedle seed.
Absolutely.
Beetle seed.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Jesus.
Fuck yeah.
This movie did not talk about the munchies. That should have been the central tenet
No.
of this movie.
right.
What are we doing?
That is a
Fried
good
up some
point.
steaks or get that maid lady May, get her cooking. He was making mayonnaise sandwiches. Apparently he was not imbibing.
I barely remember anyone even eating in this movie, to be honest, eating one single thing. I mean, it's like, is this supposed to be like meth or something? Is that what they think
Right.
weed was?
That's weed.
Right.
Very interesting.
Seriously? What the fuck?
Yeah, only the mafia dude. Do you like the mafia boss who just sits there with a counting machine? Ching, 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 ching.
Uh-huh. And of course, he has no compunction towards selling marijuana to kids. It's like, yep, just selling drugs to kids. Why not?
Even the big gangster's like, hey, I draw the line there. I quit. I'm making a regular job.
Yeah. That one big dude.
You're gonna get murdered if you quit.
He's like, I guess I quit. I don't know.
He's even just like, I hope that you have kids one day, so that you know what's up here.
Right. I'm gonna sell weed to your kids.
Screw it.
And who
I'll
is the
specifically
doctor?
sell to your kids.
Dr. Carroll, is he the superintendent or the principal?
He's the principal.
who
he's the
solves
principal.
crime. He's like Batman. So he's going door to door. He's working with the DAs. He's going everywhere.
I think in some way he's supposed to be kind of a representation of Anslinger at the time, probably, and especially how zealous he was against it. Like, yeah, I mean that's kind of interesting. Is like, let's talk about the actual framing device of the parent-teacher meeting.
Right.
Like, I mean that pretty much sets everything. Sets everything in motion, because I mean it's initially a story that he's telling about what happened to these kids that got caught up with these gangsters because of marijuana. And but I mean even then he's still spinning such a yarn of bullshit.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It is. It is so ridiculous. And clearly it was so effective because all those kids, everybody was like, nah, okay.
Oh, seriously. I mean, yeah,
There was
it's like,
not a lot of pressure put on the youth of 1936.
It doesn't seem to be.
No.
It's like, I don't know. Was that around the time before we initially had the concept of a teenager as a social construct? That kind of came to be in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, good point.
Like, I mean,
I think we did have teenagers at that point. I mean, these kids were not working. This was not, post-industrial revolution. So it's not like they had to be off at the factory. So these are kids that had a childhood, whether they went on to college or not. These were not people that had to go support the family. These were middle class, God bless America youth. Parents worked hard, and they're repaid with children who smoke the weed, the devil's weed.
Yep. The generation of the 60s, they were the boomers. They were just like, nope, we're just smoking all of it. Screw it.
Dude, this would have been like their parents. No, this would be too old to be their parents, wouldn't it? This would be their grandparents.
This isn't even the beatniks of the 50s, right? This is way before any of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, you're right. Damn.
They're too young to be traumatized by World War I. World War II has not happened yet. They're just bored.
Yeah, it's
the greatest generation.
It's just an interstitial time, interstitial time before shit gets fucked up. So
True.
Exactly.
Maybe they should have just let him smoke weed. Fuck it.
Right.
It's like, I mean,
that ice cream soda can only get you so far.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I was watching. I remember the courtroom scene when what's his name is acquitted of all charges, and even Mary's parents are thrilled that he didn't get sent up the river. Essentially, even your daughter's still dead, so maybe take a minute.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
And your other son's a murderer, so.
Oh, that's okay. We're just never going to bring that up again,
Right.
It's like just never going to bring up the old man. Who cares? Whatevs.
It's just about exploiting these people as much as they can within the script to show the dangers of marijuana and be like, look at what happened. And then, okay, once we've sold you the extreme conclusion to that, that's it. We don't need to even bring it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the logical course is smoke weed, kill someone, die in the electric chair. I mean, that's the logical conclusion. That's what's going to happen.
Or end up catatonic in an insane asylum.
In an asylum for the rest of your life.
Those are your two choices. What are you going to do, little Jimmy? They're like, I guess I'm going to be in the asylum.
I don't know. I think that is probably kind of preferable at that point. At least you can have fun in the asylum.
I'm not going to the big house. I'm not going to Sing Sing. I'm not going to Alcatraz because of that one time I smoked the weed and drove almost 40 miles an hour in my car.
And yet
even
still,
the crazy gangsters like, bro, you need to slow down. You're going to kill somebody.
Whoa.
Just like, bro, I mean, I shouldn't have let you drive, man. What the hell?
Hey, how about not let him chug down that entire jazz cigarette like he's hyperventilating right before he drives you back?
It was a huge Bob Marley blunt He pounded in the 5 minutes the dude went upstairs.
It's like, what the hell? It's like you'd have to be just like inhaling nonstop to kill that thing that
Right?
quick of a time. I mean, I've smoked my fair share of blunts and spliffs. It's like those take a minute to smoke. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a little pinner joint.
Oh, also, did you notice how everybody had their own individual reefer? Like, nobody ever passed one around. No, it's just like everybody had their own.
There's no rotation. What's the rotation here? Like what would be your preferred rotation of characters from this movie? Like, I mean, I think I'll probably give a reefer to probably May or maybe to Jack. I'd probably smoke out with them.
Yeah.
Just don't get behind the wheel. Right?
You're picking your
No, don't get behind the wheel.
this cast of characters.
Don't have him drive you somewhere. But other than that, he seems fine, right?
Oh yeah, of course. And then there's Ralph.
Oh, no. Fuck Ralph.
No one's smoking weed with Ralph. No. They boot his ass out of there.
I don't think he wants to share his weed with anybody else the way he's acting. He's just in that closet just like it's like just pretty much a chimney like a chimney just smoking that shit. And he's
and he may have been a rapist before, right? We don't know the weed.
Absolutely.
That.
Oh, absolutely. He has to have done that before.
He's like 21 Jump Street. He just keeps going to new towns with his marijuana, hooking up with high school girls. He's Johnny Depp.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Well, he said he was a college dropout, right? He was supposed to be like captain of the track team or some shit. And then he dropped out to smoke weed full time. And that was it.
Yeah. Something like that.
I like he still puts the suit on to go and smoke his marijuana.
Double-breasted, like perfect Windsor knot, right?
As was the fashion
Soul
of the
pack,
era,
right?
yeah.
Right?
Hey, why not? I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should bring back formal weed smoking like that. Well, let's just dress up in a nice dinner jacket and everything, and
Like,
just smoke a big ass blunt.
Dude, they used to have the smoking jacket. I remember Ricky, when he got back from the club, he put on a smoking jacket. We didn't normalize that.
Well,
yeah, bring back the smoking jacket.
And your jazz for your jazz cigarettes, it'll be perfect.
Exactly.
We just need to get in our tuxes, right, Bo? And we'll smoke a shit ton of weed and throw footballs around in our tuxes.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
That's what does.
Yeah, great American game.
At
you know.
the ball.
It's a great American time.
Just find an alley to throw the ball back and forth. Yeah.
Dude, you know what that is? That's from the room. You're drifted over
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Incidentally, our 100th episode and season finale this season.
Yeah.
Incidentally.
The room.
Classic.
Yeah, we're doing
I was in Santa Cruz earlier this year, and the room was playing at the local theater with special guests. What the fuck his name is? I'm blanking out. But
Tommy Wiseau.
I was like trying to look inside, and nobody knew what I was talking about.
He's available.
He is apparently available.
Oh yes, very much so. I mean, he's got his new movie Big Shark, which I still haven't seen yet.
We have
put that on the list too.
We have a Tommy Wiseau episode for next season. Honestly, we should do Big Shark.
Yeah,
because I didn't even realize it had fucking released.
He's been touring with
75?
it. Apparently.
He's like 75 now.
We don't know.
If he was 60 then.
No birth.
Who knows how old? Tommy Wiseau is as old as he wants to be.
Yeah, he's actually
he can be whatever age he wants to be.
He's an eternal life form that transcends this dimension. I mean, you can't convince me otherwise.
True.
He's a transdimensional.
The laws
being.
of nature don't apply.
Like you know when people bring up the ether in a metaphysical sense, he is the ether, straight up. That is what he is.
You know what I want to do, Bo? I just had this idea. We should do a stoner fan film remake of The Room. Remember, we've been talking about doing our own like fan film remake, but we should make it a stoner comedy.
Straight up, just to have everybody just baked out of their minds the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it reads anyway.
Right. Yeah, everybody's stoned in that movie anyways. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess that you can make an argument that The Room is kind of a stoner movie in its own right because
Yeah.
you
It's a
kind of have to
midnight
be
movie,
high.
that's for sure.
It's a midnight movie, and you do kind of have to be high to really get it. To be honest,
I don't know about to get it, but to just sit through it.
just to sit through it to enjoy
I don't
it.
know if you'll ever
I
get
should
it.
say.
Right. I
I don't know,
understand it all
Ash.
now.
You get that movie, right? I get it.
I get it.
I get it. Because Tommy is our people. He's our people.
He's our patron. He's the patron saint of the podcast, in fact.
Him and
you
Greg
go.
Sestero. Yeah, they're the patron saints
Yep.
of the podcast.
I see a
Absolutely.
candle in your future with his face on it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if I've gone to the CD exchange in town, and they have like the religious looking candles, but it's like RoboCop and Dolly Parton and like
You're
Freddy
like, where's
Krueger and everything.
Tommy?
Where's Tommy Wiseau? It's like, I mean, you even have Divine from Pink Flamingos. It's like, come on now. I think one of them had Jack Nance from Eraserhead and everything. It's like, come on now. It's like
I'll erase
we've
this
got to
and flip
have
the cart and walk out.
exactly. Well, I guess that we can go ahead and start wrapping everything up here and get into our final thoughts on Reefer Madness for 420. So once again, we'll start with our guests, Kevin and Aaron. Whichever one of y'all want to start first, let's get into final thoughts.
Final thoughts are it's entertaining. I think it still holds up because it's not like this is ever going to get normalized or seem legitimate. It is off the wall and bizarre. It's more fun to talk about than actually watching it. But if you combine those two acts, it is a thing of delight, and any kind of alteration of your mind and body beforehand during can only add to your pleasure and enjoyment. Aaron says, check it out.
It does kind of feel like it was made specifically to make stoners laugh at it. It almost is like you couldn't make a movie if you tried that's this, humorous to stoners,
These
Like,
little
period.
miracles do not happen on purpose. You have to
Nope.
try to make it serious, and it has to be so bad that it's funny. If you try to make it funny, you see right through it and you disdain it.
Well, and you didn't even mention one of the best features. It's only an hour long. It's perfect.
Really?
Just kiss,
How
right?
bad? It's an hour long if you don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can watch it.
Literally
You can watch it in
hour.
an afternoon and be done with it. And yeah,
Yes.
Watch
I
it
mean,
at lunch.
Look, I've seen some old movies from way back in the day, and sometimes you find your phone getting out, and you're looking at just fucking searching for whatever the fuck. But this, it definitely keeps your attention, no question.
oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you just can't believe that, for
Right.
one, it's being so audacious with its bullshit, but also because it's just fundamentally such a broken movie,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Seriously.
so beautiful. Like I said, William Castle couldn't have done this on purpose. It is people trying their darndest and failing fantastically.
yeah, exactly. And it kind of makes you wonder how earnest any of these people were as far as the message that they were trying to put forth, or if these were just, paid actors just doing a gig, I mean,
Or church
Remember,
members of whatever cult this was.
it was originally a church group that financed the original film a few years before the cut that we all know and love and are talking about came out. So it's like, yeah, was this original cut like members of their church? Was it, did they get enough financing to actually get like union actors on this or something? I mean, what's the circumstances?
Like
I
you
didn't
said,
see
they added
anything
scenes.
at the end about the union label there.
So yeah,
They
probably
had
not
her
union.
stand up and applaud when it was all over. God bless you. God bless you.
We went back and added scenes, and we're able to get the same actors to be in those scenes, right? It didn't have
That's
to have weird
crazy.
stand-ins, right? It
too
was the same
much.
church group.
It had
Put
to
on
have
some
been.
stockings and
50
show
cents
you
a
my
day or
shoulder.
whatever they paid people back then.
Absolutely.
Seriously. Oh my God. Yeah, Ash, what are your final thoughts on Reefer Madness?
Oh, Reefer Madness? Shit, man. It's a good time, actually, if you're high. I mean, no wonder that since its rediscovery in the 70s, it's when it kind of, gained that satirical lens, that it's become, one of the original stoner films, ironically, right? So, I mean, it's a good hour of your time that you could just put on and get high. And what's funny is you want to say it's one of those things you could put on as background noise, but you'll actually find it catching your attention with just the batshit insanity. And it's like,
Yes.
I mean,
Hold
you're
on.
engaged for that hour.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a good time, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good time for 420.
It's all David Lynchian. You brought up Jack Nance, so now I think like David Lynch could have produced this.
Oh, could you imagine if David Lynch would have done
Right.
something like this?
The moment
Gone
the piano
too
player
soon, gone
starts doing
too
his thing.
soon.
It probably would have been pretty haunting if he did that, honestly. It would be absolutely haunting, and I don't know, it probably would have been much more effective than any other anti-drug propaganda. I mean, I don't really know what his stance was on drugs and whatnot, but you
Sure,
know.
he's in.
Yeah.
I just feel like that baby from Eraserhead will show up to haunt you if you smoke the marijuana. I think that's part of it.
Oh no, or either him or the Elephant Man just comes out of nowhere. Oh no.
Can I get a hit off of that?
Can I get a hit off of that? I don't know. I'd smoke with the Elephant Man and the Eraserhead baby. I'd do that.
John Merrick's cool.
yeah.
But as far as my final thoughts, like I really feel like this the historical context of this movie is interesting given the times that we are in, like the backdrop of, the whole anti-marijuana push at that time, and what it actually, the implications of all of that. And with that as a backdrop, having something this absolutely ridiculous just kind of try to rile people up against it. It's like, I mean, how different is this from the fake news that you see on Facebook or social media about
That's
certain
exactly
issues like
what
fentanyl?
it is.
Right.
It is. This is fake news.
Not new.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not
It's
new.
like fake news. Seriously, it's not new. This has happened before. It's like history rhymes, and this is watching this movie and kind of reading up on the history about it. Like, let's see here. There's a lady named Yara Zaid. She has a video called "The Satirical Resurgence of Reefer Madness" that really kind of went a little deeper into like the actual history of marijuana prohibition and how this movie kind of fits into all of that, and the evolution of cannabis culture, through the 70s and everything. So, like, I mean, that's a good video to check out if you really want to get into the actual history of marijuana prohibition in this country. It's a pretty interesting little rabbit hole, to be honest. So I highly recommend checking that out. And even just as a thing of entertainment, just get high and watch this and laugh at it. It's just that ridiculous.
Exactly.
That you can kind of even take it outside of its historical context, and it's still, it's just a transcendental movie in that way, and that it's just, so bad and so funny that, it just kind of becomes like The Room or Troll 2 or, Plan 9 and stuff like that. It's just part of
that's
that
a
great
good double feature.
Oh, yeah. Plan 9
Plan 9.
That would be crazy, right?
To recommend double features. What would you pair it with? Because it's only an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. It's only an hour, so you can find something interesting to pair it with.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, this is just the granddaddy of all cult midnight movie stoner movies. You know, it's kind of the granddaddy of that, and I'm thankful that it exists. And honestly, getting into the different types of exploitation propaganda films, it's kind of an interesting genre or era of film in its own right. So I highly recommend checking out. There's a 12-movie collection called Taboo Tales, and you can find quite a few of these movies on Tubi for free. So and on YouTube.
Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi has everything.
I've been doing movie nights on Tubi, and I've been live tweeting them more or less.
Yep,
so
yeah.
love Tubi. So
That's
yeah,
where
you can
all
find
the
this
Jalo
movie.
classics are.
I love that they have an entire Jalo collection.
Yeah.
I love it. So awesome. I watched Strip Nude for Your Killer the first time, and I was just like, wow, that's practically like Skinamax levels of craziness.
Oh,
Like,
shit,
what the
I
hell?
have to check that out right now.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty awesome movie. So, but yeah, it's like you can find most all these movies on Tubi, and you can find this movie and the colorized edition and some of the other adaptations. Like this has had a lot of different adaptations. It's had stage plays at least like 2 or 3 times. It's had stage musicals. It has a made-for-TV musical movie adaptation that's pretty out there. And it's been referenced in a lot of different types of music as well. So, I mean, this is definitely a movie that has a cultural impact, and just not the way that they wanted, So that's why it's such an interesting artifact.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah. But anyway, that brings our 420 special edition of Collateral Cinema to an end. Thank you very much, Aaron and Kevin, for joining us once again on another episode. Where can our listeners find the podcast That Wouldn't Die?
We are on YouTube. We're on all across social media. We're on Blue Sky, Threads, TikTok, Instagram. Did I say YouTube? We're on there. We're on
Yes.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So check us out.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And Ash, what is going on with Collateral Gaming?
Well, on Collateral Gaming, we should have out our 420 special on Katamari Damacy. So hopefully,
Nice.
If everything goes to plan, we should have that out here by the same time on 420 Day. Also,
Man, I wanted to play some Katamari, damn it.
bro,
love Katamari.
let's record it. I'm coming down this weekend.
Let's do it. I'm
Yeah.
down. I'm fucking
that's
down,
what I'm
dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I probably need you for that one anyway. So Katamari.
I love calamari.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Katamari is
Calamari.
so fun. So much fun.
Yeah, it's a great time for 420. Also, this month, we should have out by now parts 1 and 2 of our Hogwarts Legacy episode. And then we can get into our actual Bad Game April content, which will be Bubsy 3D and Hong Kong 97. So, yeah, if everything goes to plan, we should have all that out by the end of April. Also, Assassin's Creed Shadows game launch review.
Nice.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And,
Hell yeah.
we'll have a special 420 edition of the Let's Play as well on Collateral Let's Play. So stay tuned for that. We'll throw something together by 420 Day.
Honestly, I haven't thought about doing a 420 Let's Play on our end. I haven't thought about doing that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What would be a
Let's
good game?
do that. You and me. Like I said, I'll be down this
Okay.
weekend. So, yeah.
Maybe we can even do that one beat 'em up that had Jay and Silent Bob in it or something, and do a beat 'em up Friday or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, that's not a bad
we can
idea,
play
bro. That's not a bad idea.
Hell yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Because Jay and Silent Bob, I mean, that's quintessential stoner shit right there. You gotta love them.
For real,
No.
exactly. So, yeah, lots of content to come from both Collateral Gaming and Collateral Cinema, right, Bo?
Right. And right now, Collateral Cinema has the California Kid out. We went ahead and skipped Ghost in the Shell due to some issues, which we will hope to have resolved here very soon, mainly getting a specific mic track. And we're also going to be doing, after that, the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, the Day of the Doctor. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah. I'm excited for that episode.
Hell yeah.
Very cool, man.
Definitely. And as we mentioned earlier, we will have our season finale and 100th episode special coming later on this season. And that's, of course, we're redoing The Room. We're going to be talking about that. And, incidentally, we talked about Tommy Wiseau. So we're going to do another review of the Room. And we should be getting like some special messages from all of the podcasts that have worked with us on that. So, yeah, you can expect to hear from us on that, from y'all here pretty soon. So... But yeah, anyway, we still have a lot more to come for Collateral Cinema. We took a little bit of a hiatus for various reasons, but we are back. We are getting back into the rotation of releasing episodes. And look forward to much more from Collateral Cinema and Collateral Gaming this season.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, I guess with all that said, we can go ahead and end this episode. Thanks once again, Eric and Kevin, for being here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you.
And with all of that said, I was Bo Maddox, and I think I'm kind of high right now. Maybe I was Bo Maddox. I don't know.
I have been Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Kevin.
I once was Aaron Doherty.
And this was Collateral Cinema and the podcast that wouldn't die. Happy 420, everybody. We hope that you have a fun time smoking whatever type of smokables or eating whatever type of edibles you have, be it dabs, blunts, bongs, joints, edibles, whatever. Smoke it if you've got it and have fun, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. Laters.
Pull the wool from your eyes. We're in need of righteous soldiers, for this merry wonder has to be destroyed. Fight the urge of the scourge. It's destructive but seductive. So plastic measures have to be ignored. Put an end to Reefer madness, Reefer madness, Reefer madness, Reefer madness. Oh, so mad. Deadly as the Democrats that empty out our stores, turning all our children into hooligans and whores. Teenagers across the land are glazed and oversexed. If you fail to draw the line, your babies will be next. Oh, so mad. Tell your children. Fight the menace. Kill the devil. Save the country! Madness, 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 Reefer madness, crazy
Burning! Collateral Cinema is a Collateral Media podcast. All music and movie clips are owned by the respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.